Looking for a thoughtful gift for someone in your life? Or maybe a little something for you? Introducing Symbiotica, pure science-backed supplements that actually deliver what your body needs. Try the Vanilla Cream Magnesium L-threonate to calm your nervous system and improve focus throughout the day. Or the Liposomal Glutathione to support anti-aging and gut health. Go to symbiotica.com/rach to get 20% off plus free shipping. That's symbiotika.com/rach for 20% off plus free shipping. I'm a sneaker kind of girl. I love comfortable shoes, but I also want them to look cute. The New Balance 1080 is that versatile go-to sneaker that's ready for anything. I wear them to the gym, I wear them out on jogs, I wear them around the town to go get groceries, I do it all. You get the perfect mix of comfort and performance, so you're covered from coffee runs to race day. Runners love that cushion midsole because it's got their back, or well, actually their feet. But basically it's this giant cushiony, beautiful marshmallow shoe. Doesn't make sense until you put it on your feet and then you're like, oh yeah, Rach, this is just like walking in a marshmallow. Ready to upgrade your kicks? Shop the 1080 now at newbalance.com. I didn't understand that there was a way to be empowered and stand up for myself and speak my truth and do work in a way that mattered to me and to speak up for myself in my relationships. Like none of it. I didn't have literally like my throat chakra just was not able to do that yet. I was just so timid and I was so easily taken advantage of. And if I had figured that out 10 years ago, I would have actively begun to work on growing that skill in myself. Like, how do I be a great leader and how do I give clear direction without disempowering other people? Because I know there's a way to do it because I've seen it done. Hey guys, it's Rach. Welcome to the show. I'm so glad that you're here with us today. And I have a favor, which sounds kind of harsh if we just met, but I'm assuming that most of you have been a part of this community for a hot minute. And so I gotta ask, are you subscribed to the podcast? Subscribing to the podcast you listen to regularly is one of the best things that you can do for hosts like me. It helps to support the show and the staff that works on it. It ensures that you never miss an episode when we drop a new one. And here's the cool thing about subscribing. If you do it and then you hate this show, just unsubscribe. It's one click away. In the meantime, if you're listening, we would so appreciate it if you would just tap that button and make it official. Hi guys, it's Rach. Welcome to another episode, a Friday episode of the podcast, which during the summer is all about creating episodes that are light, that are fun. They're not really teachable moments. It's not like a class where I'm trying to break down a bunch of ideas for you. It's honestly just a lot of verbally processing together, and you can listen to it while you drive to the beach or take a walk or go on a hike or whatever fabulous thing you are doing this summer. I am kind of chuckling to myself because I plan out my podcast episodes a month in advance. So I typically sit down, I get my caffeine going strong. I get like my Americano, I go to a cute little coffee shop, and I start to daydream about what I want to talk to y'all about on the show. And I do this because right now, RHP, this is summer, so we're actually a little bit slower than we would be during our fall season, but I do 4 episodes a week. So we have Ask Rach, Mastermind episodes, the pep talk that happens on Sunday, and then Fridays right now are these like fun Friday episodes. But all of that to say, that's a lot of podcasts. So I approach it the same way I approach building out a content calendar, and I plan it all in advance. I mention that because oftentimes when I get an idea for an episode, I'll come up truly with like a title and I'll have a rough idea of what I want that episode to be about, but I won't really unpack it and map it out until a couple of weeks later when it's time to record. This episode comes up today. It's my last episode to record for the month of June. Yay! And it's so funny because when I came up with the title, which was What I Wish I'd Known 10 Summers Ago, I was like, oh, that's so fun. Like, it feels summery and light. And I just loved the idea. And when I started writing down my ideas of what I wish I had known a decade ago, to be totally honest, my list is not light. These are not light and summery. I thought I would be like, go to the beach more. It's not, but it is a really good list. So I started to censor myself. I wrote the first idea down in my notebook, and then I was like, is that too heavy for summer? And then every idea I kept coming up with felt heavy, but so true. So I know these Friday episodes are meant to be easy breezy, beautiful cover girl, but what if just today this one is like a little bit more real, but I think you're going to love it because it's sort of things that would really have helped me if I had had the knowledge 10 years ago. And who doesn't want that? Who doesn't want someone else to tell them like the life advice they wish they had known back in the day? So that's what I'm going to do. And if you're like, oh, this feels heavier than I want on a summer Friday, well, by golly, skip to a different episode. But this is what is true and real today. And my instinct is that many of you are going to dig it. So let's jump in. Now, before I give you my list, I have to add a caveat here. I always hesitate to do, what I wish I'd known or like what I would change if I could go back in time and tell my 20-year-old self, blah, 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 because I don't believe in regret. I believe with every particle of my being that if I had known the things I'm going to tell you, I would not have the life I have today. And I love my life. I love my kids. I love my husband. I love the life that I get to live. And if I had done things differently 10 years ago, I'm someone who believes in the butterfly effect. Like, I think if I changed things back then, it would have changed a lot of other stuff. And I don't want to have a different life than I have. So all of this to say, these aren't regrets. And these are not things I would change. But if I looked at myself 10 years ago, which I did, to come up with this list of ideas, I literally went back in my phone and I looked at pictures of myself from the summer of 2015. Which, by the way, guys, this is a move. If you have pictures in your phone of 10 years ago, go look at them and be like, what would my who I am today self tell that girl or tell that guy? Like, what would I tell them that would really help them in life? So that is how I approach this. I look at those pictures of me in 2015. Very specifically, I was looking at one from July 1st, 2015. And I thought, what would I tell that woman if my only goal was that she would be more successful at life with the information I had to give her? And not like buy Bitcoin, but how she could do life differently starting back then that would have made life better. Now, they would have changed. Again, we all are clear. I wouldn't change the way things have gone down. But if my only goal was that she would be more successful as a human, and I don't mean successful just in terms of business, I mean just like how could she be healthier? How could she be happier? These are the things I would tell her. And these are the things I will tell you, because I think if one or two or many of these resonate with you, that's your intuition telling you to dig deeper. So the very first thing that I would tell 2015 me, and this is maybe going to sound so ridiculous, but I looked at this picture and I just felt like I was looking at a baby. So 2015, I've got 3 boys. I don't have my daughter yet. I don't have any real career success. I was just still like trying to make the website work, trying to like, we were doing fine, but I wasn't having like great profit at the business. I didn't really know what I was doing. It was 3 years before Girl Wash Your Face, just to give you context. I was trying a lot of different stuff. I was trying to figure out what would work, trying to find my way forward, working mama, doing the thing. And so the thing that I would tell her that would be very hard for her to believe is this: you are so powerful. You have no idea how powerful you are. And if you learn to harness your power instead of giving your power away, your life will explode in all the best ways. Let's unpack it. I got more, but that's just where we're starting. So you can see this is not the easy show I was thinking it was going to be. But I looked at this version of me, and I'll tell you the picture I was looking at. It was a photo shoot that we did for the website. And back then, we did not use the word influencer. That word didn't exist. Those of us who created content, who had blogs, who had websites, who were building a business around that, there was not the infrastructure for that there is today. So I was looking at a picture of me. The team had asked me if we could take some summer pictures because we needed pictures on the site of things that were summery. So I'd gotten a few different outfits for an upcoming trip I was taking, and we went to a local park. I got my hair blown out, and I'm wearing this cute little dress and some wedge sandals with a blowout and my sunnies on. And it's actually a really cute picture. And it was one of the first times that we started putting more effort into the photography that we were doing on the site. And I remember being like, oh, wow, like wow, this is cool. Like, this looks really cool. I felt very uncomfortable taking photos. And still to this day, it is the thing I hate more than any other thing in my job. I hate having to do photo shoots. But I am looking at this picture of myself back then, and I can just feel her insecurity. I can feel how awkward she is in taking these photos, how unsure of herself. I remember the team of people who worked with me at the time. I remember having like built this thing, but always feeling so unsure of leading this team or how to do it or what I was doing. And I realized so much of my early business life as an entrepreneur, I can understand now, was me asking everybody for permission to exist. Everyone around me. I didn't realize that's what I was doing, but just anything was me like, is this okay? Is this okay? Am I okay? Do you like me? I was so desperate that everyone would like me, that my team would like me, that, everyone thought I was nice and cool. And I was working so hard to build this thing, but I did not feel empowered in any way to do what needed to be done or say what needed to be said or push back on people. Honestly, I was such a doormat in my life and in my business. I wish that 10 summers ago, I understood that I could be empowered, and that didn't make me a bad person, and it didn't make me mean, and it didn't make me bitchy, which is what everyone loves to say about women in leadership roles. Years ago, I met someone who worked for Martha Stewart. And Martha Stewart, like during the heyday, And I still absolutely adore Martha Stewart. If I have genuinely seen her masterclass like 6 times. I love it, especially the episode that's just her on the farm. Oh, if you have not seen Martha Stewart's masterclass, girls, like get it together. Also, her documentary on Netflix, just watch them all. My point is, I think everybody listening to this, even if you don't like Martha, you understand what she built and you understand what she meant and still means to a generation of people. She also notoriously is like hard to work for and bitchy and mean and, all of these things that we would never use to describe a man in her position. But we all know the things that have been said about Martha Stewart and how she was to work for. So I, years ago, met someone who used to work at the magazine in its heyday. And I was looking, I think I was interviewing her for a job. And so I saw her resume and I was like, oh my God, you worked for Martha. What was that like? Was she nice? And she was like, no. No one who worked for her would describe her as nice. And I'm like, oh, check that box. That's exactly what I thought this chick was going to say. And I sort of go to continue the conversation. And she's like, hold up. Let me just explain. Nobody who worked for her would say she was nice. But even if you did not like her, everyone who worked for her will tell you that they elevated their career, they elevated their work ethic, that they came out of the experience as a better version of themselves because she demanded that of people who worked with her. And I remember hearing that and being so freaking inspired. I think you guys know this, but in case you don't, my happy place is on the beach. Actually, that's not enough. My happy place is on the beach with an iced coffee in my hand. What a vibe. There are a lot of beaches out there, but there's only one people call the beach. Myrtle Beach, South Carolina, is made up of 14 coastal communities and 60 miles of sunny beaches. Together, they create a place that makes you feel like you belong. Shine and dine in a foodie haven with oceanfront patios, fresh seafood, low country classics, and southern favorites. Plus, my favorite, you can listen to live music any day of the year, outside at laid-back beach bars, at world-renowned theaters, or right on the boardwalk. You belong at Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. Plan your trip to the beach at visitmyrtlebeach.com. Step into the freedom of summer with jewelry that reflects who you are and where you're going. From sunrise to sunset, Pandora Jewelry transports you to paradise. No passport required. From ocean charms to colorful tennis bracelets, shop new arrivals to add to your summer staples. Be unmissable this summer with vacation-ready designs. Everyone loves adding a little something fun to their wardrobe during the summer, and accessories are the easy go-to staple that will jazz up any outfit. Feel it, live it, embrace it. Be love. Shop in-store or online at pandora.net to discover new styles. Do you remember being coached on a school team or something when you were little? Do you ever have a PE coach or a coach in a sport? You didn't like them as a person, but you respected them. They pushed you hard and you really wanted to do a good job for them, even though you didn't love them. But you're like, yeah, but I'm a better tennis player because they pushed me. Or I'm better at soccer because they pushed me. I didn't understand that there was a way to be empowered and stand up for myself and speak my truth and do work in a way that mattered to me and to speak up for myself in my relationships. Like none of it. I didn't have literally like my throat chakra just was not able to do that yet. yeah, I was just so timid and I was so easily taken advantage of. And if I had figured that out 10 years ago, I would have actively begun to work on growing that skill in myself. Like, how do I be a great leader and how do I give clear direction without disempowering other people? Because I know there's a way to do it because I've seen it done. I would have started to work on that instead of going through so many more years allowing myself to be taken advantage of. So I wish that I had known how powerful I was because we all are powerful. I don't care who you are. I don't care where you are. I don't care if you don't believe me. You are powerful beyond your wildest imaginings. You are powerful beyond what you can comprehend. When you decide to put your heart and soul and mind and focus into something, you can move a mountain, babe. You are powerful beyond measure. Now, here's the second thing I'd wish I'd known. You are powerful beyond measure, and you need to stop giving that power away. Oh my God, did I give that power away? And still have to work on this. Straight up, I still have to work on this because my default setting is let me find an authority figure to run this past. Let me find someone else who tells me that they know more, that they have more information, that they're smarter, that they're stronger, that they have a penis, and so they definitely should. Like, let me find someone else to validate this belief that I have. And if I can find someone else to validate this belief that I have, then I feel safe in having this belief. It is so freaking dangerous because if you have that mentality, it is so easy to take advantage of you. I am speaking about myself. It is so easy to take advantage of me. It is. I have to have like such incredible boundaries and such incredible shields. Someone's like, "Oh, I like you. I want to be your friend." Like, I'm like, "Oh, okay. Here's my ATM card and here's the pin." Like, I'm so freaking trusting. I have such a desire to be liked, to be loved, to do all of these things. I'm like dangerous. And I actually feel so much more confident in telling you this because I was talking to another female entrepreneur, like a very successful female entrepreneur who has a big platform on social and like y'all would know her. And I was texting with her and I said, I had just seen a lot of her stuff on social. I could tell she was like grinding. You know, when you're in a season of grind, I just like could feel that she was in a season of grind and she is experiencing incredible success, but she's about, I think she's like 10 years younger than me. I could see the burnout on the horizon. And I don't know her well, but I just felt really called in my spirit to reach out to this person. I didn't know how it would go over because, you know, nobody wants advice from a stranger, but I got her number and I text her. I said, you know, "Hey, sister, like it's me. I have something I want to tell you. And if this resonates, take it on board. And if it doesn't resonate at all, ignore me, delete my number, you know, light it on fire. Like, I just feel compelled to tell you this thing." I say to her, "You are doing the thing, you are achieving, you are crushing. Like, it's so cool to watch. Are you taking time to rest? Are you taking time to ground yourself? Are you taking time to laugh with your girlfriends and like go to happy hour or your version of that, to go on a hike, to go have a vacation? Like, are you doing that?" Because it is really easy to stay in the flywheel and not understand that you are slowly draining away everything that you're going to need later on in the journey. I was like, "I just want to say this to you." And she sent me, you know, like a novel back in text and was like, "Thank you so much. Like, I'm so grateful that you said this. I can't believe like that you reached out." But in that text, she said, I am so bad at having a community or having girlfriends or she's like, I have nobody in my circle. Like my circle is my husband because I don't trust myself with other people. I'm so susceptible to the influence of other people and the influence of authority figures. And like every mistake I've made in my business is because I give my power away. And I was like, holy crap. I have never heard another person say that, because who wants to admit that you're this like badass and you're doing all these things, you're running this big business and you're crushing it. And also you've lost so much money because you've trusted the wrong people. And also you have a friendship circle that you realize are fair weather friends, and they are only there because you're paying for everything, and they are only there because they're on the payroll. And like, you look up one day and you're like, oh crap, I am really bad at discernment. I believe the best in people. I think like, you tell me that you're awesome. I'm like, okay, I'm Pollyanna. And the thing is, I don't want to lose the Pollyanna in me, because that's the version of me that is the dreamer. That's where my imagination comes from. That's like where I get my ideas. That's how I write books. Like, I don't want to crush her, but I don't know how to like keep her safe. I was so grateful. I sent her a voice memo. I was like, oh my God, girl, I've literally never heard someone say that. And I'm glad it's not just me. I would never admit that to someone else. And thank you for going first, because I really struggle with that too. I say that to you guys, and I say that to myself 10 years ago. Stop giving your freaking power away. You give your power away when you ask someone else to buy in to what you know is true in order for you to feel more confident in your truth. You have a great idea and you're like, oh, let me tell 10 people, because if they like it, it's probably a good idea. You just came up with the kernel of something and you're like, oh, let me get the consensus on this. Or let me ask their opinion, or let me tell them this idea. It is so hard when you need that feedback. It stops more dreamers at the starting line than any failure ever will. Let me say that again in case you didn't catch it. More people's dreams are stopped at the starting line because they try and get someone else to buy into the dream. And that person can't buy into the dream because they can't see your vision. And then they talk you out of it, but they didn't even know all the things that you know. If you want to know if the idea is viable, freaking try and do it. Try and write the book. Try and start the podcast. Try and build the business. Try and get over $1 million in revenue. Did you already do that? Try and get over $1 million in revenue in a month. Try and do the thing. Figure out how to do the thing. Stop trying to figure out how to get other people to buy into the idea. That is you giving your power away. When you don't trust your own thoughts and opinions, when you need other people to give you their thoughts and opinions so you know what to think, your power just went away. When you are in a fantastic mood, you're having a great day, and you get around your bestie or your boyfriend or your mama and they're in a bad mood and it robs you of your mood, now you're feeling anxious, you're feeling scared, you're feeling bitter. You just gave your power away. Stop giving your power away. It is not easy. It is a process. It is a skill set to learn. It is putting boundaries around yourself. But if I had known that 10 summers ago, woo, I don't even know where I'd be right now. I can't even imagine. We have been using the oxygen boost from Branch Basics for years. My husband has an allergic reaction anytime we use bleach, but I really want the towels and the sheets to be as white as possible. So I found Branch Basics. And why I love them is their formulas are Made Safe certified, Leaping Bunny certified, and completely free from synthetic fragrance, parabens, and harsh preservatives. When it comes to the health of my family, I want to make sure that anything we're using is clean and safe and good. Branch Basics is female founded, on a mission to eliminate toxins from our homes, starting with our cleaning products. You can shop Branch Basic products today, available on Amazon and branchbasics.com. And for a limited time, you can use the code Hollis at branchbasics.com for 15% off your next order. Make the swap that truly matters. Clean your home without compromising your health with Branch Basics. My favorite part about Thrive Market is that I don't have to think about it. As a mom of 4 kids trying to get dinner on the table, make sure there are enough snacks in the pantry and items to fill their lunch boxes, it is so nice to not have to think about whether or not the ingredients in what I'm shopping for are actually good for my family. This is the beauty of Thrive Market. It's your favorite health food store, but online and way more affordable. Not only can I get my favorite products, but I also always find brand new ones that I didn't know existed. Things like Ora Bora sparkling water or Unreal dark chocolate bars with coconut. Oh my gosh, have you guys had those? Thrive has supplements, household items, and clean beauty too. All of their items are vetted and all way more affordable than you think. Skip the junk without overspending. Head to thrivemarket.com/rach to get 30% off your first order and a free $60 gift. That's thrivemarket.com/rach, thrivemarket.com/RACH. Ooh, here's a good one. Something I wish I'd known 10 summers ago. This is a good one, not just for me, but for you. All of the opinions that you are drowning in, you're going to outgrow them all. Every single person's opinion that you currently care about, that you currently have anxiety about, you will outgrow those opinions. Every single opinion that I was drowning inside of 10 years ago, I could not care less. These massive, weighty, boulder on my shoulder opinions of people on the internet, of my in-laws, of what my husband at the time thought, like all of these opinions that were freaking destroying me, literally destroying me. I had so much anxiety. I had such bad anxiety 10 years ago. And it was all based on other people not liking something I was doing or the stories that I made up about what other people thought of the way that I lived my life. I could not care less. And what sucks is that I literally destroyed myself emotionally and mentally and robbed my momentum and gave my power away because of opinions that I don't care about anymore. Have you ever heard that expression, if it's not going to matter in 5 years, it doesn't matter right now? Your mother-in-law's opinion of how you're raising your kids is not going to matter. It's not. Because you'll get older and you'll realize, like, you know what? Cheryl had her chance. She raised her babies. These are mine. These are mine to try and get right. These are mine to screw up. And whatever I'm doing my freaking best. So Cheryl, go worry about something else. Get yourself a dog. Get yourself a dog. You take care of that puppy. Leave me alone. The opinions that you are currently drowning inside of will not matter to future you. And if they will not matter to future you, babe, they shouldn't matter to current you. 10 summers ago, just a few things I want to tell her. Y'all can take these on board. Water. Babe, we need to drink our water. 10 summers ago, I didn't yet understand how much water I need to be drinking. If I had got on the hydration game back then, I would have felt better. Everything health-wise would have clicked. Half your body weight in ounces of water every single day minimum. That's what I would have said 10 years ago. I would have said, girl, you need some sleep. I would have said, prioritize sleep over everything. I prioritize sleep over everything now. But back then, I didn't have that info yet. I still stayed up super late, like watching Friends reruns. I drank way too much caffeine. I didn't prioritize sleep, so I didn't live my daytimes in a way that set me up for success at nighttime. I would have said, drink that water, get that sleep. I would have said, leafy greens, honey. I said, eat your vegetables. I'm so great about my nutrition today. But if I just would have understood, like, don't go on a diet, don't change everything, but could you throw in some spinach? Could you throw a little side salad on there, Rach? Can you get some Swiss chard? Can you get some things that are green and leafy? Can you add some broccoli to the mix? Can you throw those things in there? They are so good for us, guys. If you are hearing me say this and you don't currently take any vegetables into your system, OMG, oh my God, you guys, you have to eat vegetables. If you, I'm hoping that everyone's laughing because they're like, girl, of course I eat vegetables. You have to eat vegetables that still have their living waters inside of them. Meaning, like I grew up, we ate vegetables. We ate green beans from a can. Bless. That's the best mom and daddy could do. That is all they could afford. Those were not alive. Those didn't give us anything. They might have added a little color to our plate next to the fried potatoes and the beans. But you need some vegetables. And I'm talking those veggies need to be green. Yes, all vegetables, all fruit. Love it. Do it. But just add. You don't have to take anything away, but can you just add some greens? Last thing that she needed to hear, and maybe you do too, you got to move your body every day. Every single day. We're here in Hawaii for the summer, and every summer, me, Kez, and the teenagers do something called Body Beautiful. Literally, Body Beautiful 2023, Body Beautiful 2024. We're now in Body Beautiful 2025, which basically means that we all start the summer being like, oh, this summer we're going to get jacked. Like, you just watch us, whatever. And each summer we've gotten progressively better at it to the point that Body Beautiful 2025, like we actually are on it. It's amazing. Our whole family, we're crushing it. I work out 7 days a week. I want to be gentle and tell you, move your body every day. That's what I needed to hear 10 years ago because I was not in a headspace where I could work out 7 days a week. But that is the reality. Age 42, 7 days a week. I'm doing strength training or a run every 7 days a week. Sometimes I'm doing multiple things just because I'm like, oh, I feel good. I'm going to go on a walk after dinner. 10 years ago, I still was not on that game. I didn't work out with any consistency. And if I had just started to move my body every day, I would be so much further along. I would have had Body Beautiful like 2018. I would have figured this out so long ago. So the sooner you start, the sooner you can get to the place where you're in consistency. And for anyone who's like, I don't know why I just had the instinct to say this to you guys. Anyone who's like, it's too late for me. You're like, I'm in my 50s, I'm in my 60s, I'm in my 70s, like it's too late. Girl, you are the youngest you are ever going to be for the rest of your life today. You are the youngest you are ever going to be for the rest of your life right now today. So go ahead and start. Go ahead and start today. Ding. If you know, you know. Go ahead and start. Stop telling yourself some BS story about, oh, you should have done it already, or if I would have started 10 years, like who freaking cares? You know what you need to be doing, so do it. 10 years from now, that version of you, they are going to be so pumped that you started right now. instead of getting to yourself 10 years from now and you're like, oh, I wish I would have started back in my 50s. If you think it's too late, I need you to look up bodybuilders or marathon. I want you to think of the thing you would most like to do. Like, oh, I'd love to run a marathon, or I'd love to do laps in the pool, or I'd love to do yoga. Okay. I want you to think of the thing you've always secretly longed to do. And then I want you to Google the age that you are and that thing that you want. Starting yoga in your 50s, starting yoga in your 60s, running your first marathon at 52. I freaking promise you, if you Google that, you are going to find so many examples of people who have done exactly what you want to do at the exact age you are, or even older. You create your own reality. It is never too late to become the person that you want to be. Stop telling yourself that lie. The next thing that I wish I had known 10 summers ago, and this one's kind of a bummer, but it's really true. Not everyone is trustworthy. Not everyone is trustworthy. In fact, I sort of think the older I get, and I don't want this to sound like a curmudgeonly grandpa, like, get off my lawn. But the older I get, the more I wonder if it isn't better to not assume trustworthiness. Because I do. I assume that everyone is telling the truth. I assume that if you tell me you can do something, you can. I assume if it's on your resume, it's real. I assume if you tell me you were in that spot, you were in that spot. Like, I trust everyone. And that, again, it sort of goes along with that Pollyanna thing, but it has really hurt me a lot. And the antidote to this, people are untrustworthy, but I don't realize it, the antidote would be a stronger trust in myself, a stronger awareness of my intuition, a stronger inner knowing, to be in better conversation with that still small voice inside of me. Honestly, my newest book is the information I wish I would have had 10 years ago. How do you build that awareness of what is true and real for you? Because I didn't know. I didn't grow up with anyone talking about intuition. I grew up in a world that was like authority figures, they know best. Not you know best. It was always they know best. And so if an authority figure said something to me, I took it as gospel. But it would have been so helpful if I learned to better trust when my stomach was like, this seems sketchy, or that seems untrue, or this employee keeps showing up late every day. And no matter, like, look at the facts. It's actually probably the line that my kids have heard me say more than any other is, do not listen to what they say. Pay attention to what they do. Because that is not something that anybody taught me. And if I had had that information, I feel like I could have better protected myself. So not everyone is trustworthy. That doesn't mean everyone is bad. I also don't even think that people break trust because they're like evil. I think people do what they believe they need to do to survive. And sometimes what someone needs to do in their mind to survive is very hurtful to another person. That doesn't make them evil. That's just this human nature. But if I could better understand and if I could better protect myself, I would have avoided a lot of pain. The next thing I would have said to that version of myself, and this is like sad but real, I would have said, beware anything that helps you escape it. Beware your coping mechanisms. Beware what allows you to numb. 10 years ago, and I've talked about this, but 10 years ago, I definitely drank too much. I loved me some boxed wine. I used to come home every day from work and have boxed wine because I thought that, if I could just numb my anxiety, if I could just numb my frustration with my kids, if I could numb myself a bit, then I would become a better version, like a more likable version, a funner version, a calmer version. And every sort of coping mechanism I had really made things worse. It would make it feel better in the moment, but it made life, like overall life, worse in the long run. But I couldn't feel that when I was inside of it. I couldn't feel that boxed wine, like I would need more and more of it to feel the same kind of calm. And then I would wake up with a hangover, and then I was putting on weight. And then I didn't realize that the sugar in the wine was making me feel more anxious, not less anxious. Like there were so many negative side effects. There are so many negative side effects to anything that we choose that numbs us. And it sucks. And it's hard, and we don't always have the capacity for it. But if you remove the coping mechanism and you make yourself deal with the root cause that makes you want to have a drink, that makes you want to get stoned, that makes you want to overdraft your bank account or trying to shop for things you don't need, if you make yourself face what the actual problem is, it's hard as hell, but it is so much freaking faster. It is. We think that the numbing or the coping mechanism is the cure in that moment because, like, oh, we can instantly feel so much better. But in terms of progress in life, actually just facing your shit, it is such a faster solution in the long run to just deal with what you need to deal with. Again, I wouldn't change anything, because if I had had these tools, if I had had this info, like, I always think this is like, just let's just have a moment for the reality of a timeline and how it all works out the way it's supposed to. So many of the things I've described to you today, if I had had the information 10 years ago, I would have been divorced much sooner than I was. That is the reality. And if I had been divorced much sooner than I was, I would not have my daughter at all. Like I'm literally recording this podcast in her bedroom right now. I'm looking at her Barbies all over the bed. I'm looking at, 1 million stuffies, and I would have not had her. I would have been empowered. I would have understood what was really going on. I would have left sooner, and I wouldn't have my daughter. It's why I say I wouldn't change anything. Yeah, I wouldn't have her. So I wouldn't change anything. It all happened. It all unfolded. It all unfurled exactly at the pace it was supposed to. You need to hear that too. Regret doesn't help us. You have to trust that life is not happening to you. Life is happening for you. And every single step along the way, it's all parts and pieces that we can use and learn and gain wisdom from. Yeah. If I had figured things out sooner, I wouldn't have the life that I have right now. And now here's my last thing. Here's my last piece of advice to 32-year-old me and to you, wherever this finds you today. Something that would have helped me to know back then. Don't ever take advice from someone you wouldn't trade places with in any area of your life: business, family, relationship, health, fitness. Do not take advice from someone that you would not trade places with. If they are not a fantastic, phenomenal parent that you admire, don't take parenting advice from them. If they are not healthy and happy and thriving, do not take nutritional advice from them. If they do not have a body that you admire, do not take workout advice from them. If they do not have a business that you admire, do not take business advice or financial advice. Stop taking advice from people you would not trade places with. And I know this is a little dangerous because now social media has all of these influencers who can show an aesthetic and show a vibe and show you all of these things and pretend to have all of this success and pretend to have, or like, oh, this is my 10-step skincare routine. And it's like, no, it's not. You're linking out to every single one of those products. You just want us to, how can you be doing this 10-step skincare routine in March and in May it's a completely different lineup of products? Yeah, because you want us to buy new products so you get a commission. Like, I know it's hard because there's a lot of people faking it, which is why it's really good to take advice from people you can actually like see and touch and know and trust. Or at the very least, maybe you hear someone's advice and you take it on board as an idea, as something to try. But don't take it as like gospel truth of what someone is really doing to achieve those results. Do not take advice from someone you wouldn't trade places with. I hope that one of my ideas today was helpful. I hope that something resonated for you and maybe you'll take a deeper dive in your own life. And I hope that you'll come back and join us for another episode soon, or consider sharing this one with a friend if you know someone you think would dig it. We will be back soon with more conversation. Until then, as always, guys, I love you. And I love me. 10 years ago, 10 summers ago. I love us all. Every version of us is trying their absolute best. And I'm rooting for you. Talk to you soon. The Rachel Hollis podcast is produced by me, Rachel Hollis. It's edited by Andrew Weller and Jack Noble.
Going up. Prices keep going up these days. It feels like being on an elevator that only goes up. Going up. But not at Metro. We're pushing the down button. Going down. We've lowered prices. Get one line of 5G data for $40, period. That's 20% lower. And you get a free Samsung 5G phone when you bring your number. Only at Metro.
5-year guarantee on eligible plans. Exclusions apply. See website for details. Not available at Metro with T-Mobile in the past 6 months. Tax applies.
Hey, everybody. It's Rob Lowe here. If you haven't heard, I have a podcast that's called Literally with Rob Lowe. And basically, it's conversations I've had that really make you feel like you're pulling up a chair at an intimate dinner between myself and people that I admire, like Aaron Sorkin or Tiffany Haddish, Demi Moore, Chris Pratt, Michael J. Fox. There are new episodes out every Thursday. So subscribe, please, and listen wherever you get your podcasts.